Welcome back, everyone. This is the Command Bunker, and I have an army showcase for you of the figures that are featured in my yearly Halloween 5 Leagues from the Borderlands game. So during this game, I play off of the Halloween special for Charlie Brown. It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. And basically, my adventurers fight alongside Sir Charles of Brawn and Lucille the Sorceress, and they go through and fight different pumpkin-headed and pumpkin-themed monsters of some variety. Each scenario, or each game has had a different scenario, and a different storyline carried over from year to year. But to start off, I'll show Sir Charles and Snoopy. Basically, almost all of these figures are Reaper so far. I do have the large 3D printed Jacko Leviathan, which you saw in the last update. But this is Sir Charles. He has Charlie Brown's signature yellow shirt, though quite dirty, and this form cape, and his little zigzag pattern on it, to remind you that this bald paladin is actually Sir Charles. And Snoopy is painted up roughly like he would be in the shows and the comic strip. And then you have Lucille the Sorceress, which she was almost a perfect match to, like the hat in particular, was almost a perfect match to the hat that Lucy wears in the special. I just went through and painted the gown and the hat in roughly the same colors as she wears in the show, and she has been very advantageous for a spellcaster in 5 leagues. She's been quite good. I have issues with the magic system in 5 leagues, so I don't tend to use it as often. Their nemesis in this incident, if he will focus, is Sir Lionel, as represented here. He has transcended being Linus and has fully taken on his form of the Knightly Herald for the Great Pumpkin. He has been defeated once and has not appeared in the campaign since then, as he will be coming back hopefully in a different form in the future. We'll see how that storyline turns out. In fact, actually, you could not write this better. It came down to the final blows in the first year's game of Sir Charles and Sir Lionel actually fighting one another, and they both downed one another and defeated one another in combat. And when the rolls were made, Sir Lionel, he was actually killed, and Sir Charles survived. But this next creature we have is a pumpkin bugbear. Now he is what would be kind of like a lesser boss. I believe they call them aberrations in 5 leagues. But he's just a simple ogre in stats. I gave them the Fey creature special rules because, let's face it, they're basically an army of Doolahans with pumpkins on their heads. So why wouldn't they be a Fey creature? But I'm working on, for a future expansion of this, some more of him. I have 2 more to paint up. I'm going to mod their arms so they're not all identically standing there. But I have several of them to process through. Next, I have my first year's objective. This large, and I believe it's 65mm base, is actually the summoning circle for the Great Pumpkin. Basically, year 1's storyline was that Sir Charles had learned of the forces of the Great Pumpkin attempting to summon the avatar of the Great Pumpkin, which you can see his during summoning form right here. They had strung some weird scarecrow creature up and laid it out there. All of the pumpkin minions deployed around it, and you had a couple on patrol. But this sat in the middle of a pumpkin patch while they attempted to summon him. And depending upon how the summoning ritual turned out, you could get the avatar of the Great Pumpkin, which I believe he was a troll, possibly, in the aberration chart, with, I don't believe he had anything special with him. Let me move this. I think that's what's causing it to go out of focus. I say that and it goes out of focus. Hey. But, this was the avatar of the Great Pumpkin. It was defeated, and pretty much my heroes have been successful in their thwarting the Great Pumpkin's plans each year. I'm going to have to escalate it, I think, a little bit more, because I do feel like it's gotten kind of easy. So I need to beef up my baddies a little bit. But if the ritual failed, and the Great Pumpkin was summoned incorrectly, which was a roll that, honestly, I don't remember how it came out, I did have the option for a failed summoning roll, which when I saw this little guy on Reaper's site, I just thought it was cute. So I wanted to buy it and find a use for it in the campaign. And why not just have, a failure to roll this guy. Success in your summoning rolls, this guy. They both had stats, and this one was crappy stats, this one was pretty good stats, and it turned out that the little guy, they didn't fail the summoning roll. He got summoned, and properly, and fun was had there. But all of these being held up by the pumpkin minions. These are, again, Reaper figures. Just their basic pumpkin minion forms. It's got 3 different body types. But they're all very, very nicely sculpted. Everything here is bones, except for the pumpkins on the base of the summoning circle. So they're extremely durable. I've never had an issue with warping. I do know some people have complained about, in warmer climates, their models warping or bending, even after painting. But I also have used Minwax dip on these. So they come out a little dirtier and grungier, but at the same time, it adds kind of a candy coat to the outside and solidifies them. But I have quite a few of the little pumpkin minions. Currently, I've got 9 of them painted, but I'm planning on picking up some more. Come on. Focus. Thank you, camera. And as I drop him, but don't worry, he's bones. You can throw these suckers across the room, and they still just bounce. Honestly, people complain about bones sometimes, but I've never had an issue with it. The durability is very good. I've not had too much as far as the flexing. Like I said, after the Minwax, when you put that candy coat on it, they become quite durable. Next, I'll show off Year 2's boss. So my adventurers caught wind of something lurking in some ruins, which you actually saw in the last update, the round towers. That was the center point on the board. And what was inhabiting this ruins but this large patch watcher? It was basically a Reaper's attempt at a beholder, but pumpkin-themed, which I'm 100% all about. It fit nicely within the genre. And my storyline kind of It was a very static fight. I think I needed to stat it a little differently. But basically, the fight, he spawned on the very, very first objective marker to investigate. And in doing so, the fight erupted. Everyone charged in, and where they all met was where the fight basically lasted the entire game. It was just back and forth. I punch you, you punch me, you knock me back, I charge back in the next turn. I almost felt like I wasn't doing something right with the rules, but I'm pretty sure I was playing them exactly correct. My opponent wouldn't mind. It was me. But year 3 was a lot more fun. Year 3, we saw in the last video update, the Jacko Leviathan. I really won't have to show him off too much, but in case you didn't watch the video from 2 weeks ago, this large creature was part of Year 3's storyline where the heroes and Sir Charles and Lucille were investigating a local village that had gone quiet. And when the adventurers arrived, they just found pumpkins everywhere and the villagers gone. And upon investigation of these pumpkins scattered around the little village, one of them was actually, I ruled it kind of like an anglerfish, where like maybe his vine was actually sticking up and over, and he had a little jack-o'-lantern hanging off of it or something. But basically they investigated, and he popped up out of the ground and kind of charged around through the ground, creating some craters wherever he went down, drug himself through the soil, popped back up, and that sort, leaving craters all over the board. It was good fun. He was a lot more of an entertaining fight. I also rolled for like random behaviors and such. I put a lot more effort into that scenario. But anyway, I figure if you guys all liked the pumpkins, showcase showing him off, you might find the rest of my jack-o'-lantern and pumpkin-themed creatures kind of interesting to check out. Anyway, that about sums it up. That's everything I've used for my scenarios for a while now. There are items being added. I have yet more of the regular Bones pumpkin minions. Like you saw before, I've got more of the bugbears. I have a lot more of the minions. Actually, I need to order another like 12 or 14 of them in order to do another unit. But I'm thinking possibly 2026 I might escalate it into a full Dragon Rampant scenario. I've been reading through those rules, and I really like what I'm seeing. I've watched a few battle reports, and it's quite enjoyable. But that's about it. I'll stop myself from rambling here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you know anyone who might enjoy seeing the content I put out, go ahead and just send it along to them. If not, as long as you enjoyed it, that's what matters. Anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the year.